Hello there, Fearless Gamers. Matt here for Fearless Games, and welcome to a personal one-on-one podcast here. This is basically a makeup because I accidentally deleted the one me and the wildcard created, so we came up with this idea of a single podcast. So you're going to get one from me, and later on this week, one from the wildcard. Just us rambling little quickly about different things. First and foremost, happy Thanksgiving to all those in the States. And prepare for the dreaded Black Friday, as it's known as. It's personally not a fan of Black Friday, mainly because I think it's just gotten a little out of hand. When I first started working in retail, I think the earliest that we did was like 6 a.m., and now we're doing 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving. I think it's starting to get a little too out of hand, and the meaning behind the holiday is lost. It used to be, time for, sitting around the table, being thankful for what we got, hanging out with friends and family, and eating turkey, and watching football, to getting prepped for when the stores open. That's what it's basically degraded to now, and it's getting a little crazy. In fact, it's gotten a little crazy since we started kind of accidentally killing each other just to get sales. Been a little bit ridiculous. But neither here nor there, not going to go on a big, huge rant about that. What I do want to do is talk a little bit about some of the new stuff coming out from all the different game companies. We're going to first do the first, which is the shortest one, and that is Infinity the Game. Just recently, I've discovered they came out with some new models. In fact, one of them is one I've been waiting to come out. Let me just pull up the name of it here. The Serifs Military Order Armored Cavalry. This is something I've been trying to get to because I picked up a box of Knights of Santiago because I liked how they looked, and this is the only tag they can take. And it's been forever since this came out, and quite frankly, it came out of nowhere. What I'm not really a fan of is on the Infinity site, there's like next to no news information on anything that comes out. It's like, bam, here. Came out on November 3rd. I'm not really a fan of just how sporadic it is with their modeling stuff. In terms of, it just showed up out of nowhere. And I didn't even know it existed until I went to their store. Oh, actually, no, I didn't know it existed until I went to the War Store's warehouse, and I just saw it there, and I was like, that looks like that mini I've been meaning to get, because it's the only tag I can use. And it's a little... It's tough, but going off of that now that we actually have the mini to begin with, it actually looks pretty awesome. I do like the look. I like the way the sword is. I like the little, winged jetpack things on the back. I think what appeals to me the most is it looks very anime-like. I am a huge anime fan. I like robot mech animes. Usually if there's a mech in it, I'm interested to at least give it a shot. Like when I was at recent convention in Otakon, I met I forget his name, but he's the AD director for at Noah Zero, and I mentioned, oh man, yeah, I do like big giant robots. He goes, well, there's a new anime with a giant robot in it, and I'm like, where can I buy the DVD? You had me a giant robot. So I like that look of it. Price-wise, it's actually not too bad. It's only like $30, roughly $35. Not too unreasonable for a mini of its size, and what you're getting 2 minis, so I think it looks really cool. And I just personally think that the Infinity website, I don't like the new look of it. I kind of like the old one better, because now it's just... I just find it's really hard to see everything. Like, I missed where you could... Like, if I go to the Army section, it just has the stats on the minis. I preferred it when you could actually see and look at the different minis, get a little bit about them. They don't seem to do much of that on the site now, unless I'm just not navigating through it properly. Which at that point, they need that needs to be improved on, because there's just it's hard for me to find anything without going to the store to look at the models, and that's something I'm not a fan of. So let's move right along to the new thing. Privateer Press has got some interesting minis in the coming soon section of their website. I'm just going to pull that up real quick so I can see what I'm talking about. The new Jack Ace came out. It's a hunter. It's an interesting. I like the way it looks. I like any of the Jacks that have like arc lightning on them. Only problem is it's only really effective against Kane because it's a Kane character Jack. But I do like the way it looks. I think the Hunters are probably one of my favorite light Jacks in Signar. And this one, though, doesn't look that much different. I like the small little touches that try and make it a little personable without making it look completely different from a standard Hunter. And we have a new thing, the Blightbringer. It's the new Gargantuan for Legion of Everblight, I believe it's for. Let's see. Yeah, this looks like an Everblight mini. Yeah, Legion of Everbright, and it's the new Gargantuan. And as we mentioned in the original podcast, this thing just looks like when I see it, I think Super Hydralisk from StarCraft, because that's what it reminds me of. It looks really, really awesome. The detail on it is incredible, and it's something that makes me want to pick up Everblight, or at least this model, just because it looks really, really cool. But sadly, I probably never will. If you want to give it a look at, it's on their website, and it comes out January 31st, so mark your calendars if you're an Everblight player, because this is something that'll look pretty neat to have, I think, in your collection. Even if you never use it, just the model itself looks like it would be fun to build and paint. And other thing coming up is Forge World's website has some new release minis on it, and it is all about the Eldar, which I am happy about because I'm a huge Eldar player. We've got 4 new things coming out. The Doom of Mymeria Imperial Armor book. It's basically a redo of the old Volume 11, Doom of Mymeria. Updates on all the units. Updates to the Corsairs, and adds some new units to the Eldar force as well. And something interesting I noted was it doesn't say Imperial Armor 11, it just says Imperial Armor The Doom of Mymeria. And I'm wondering if that is in response to the second editions of Imperial Armor 1 and Imperial Armor 2. Because I did hear about some people like picking up Imperial Armor 1 and then finding out it's not the actual revised edition, it's the first edition. So I'm wondering if this is a new system for them where if it's an old Imperial Armor that's just getting revamped, they'll just say Imperial Armor without the volume. And if it's a new Imperial Armor, it'll get a number. So anything from 1 to 13 that's just a revamp will probably just say Imperial Armor on it, and then when 14 comes out, that'll probably be called Imperial Armor 14. At least that's my theory behind this. This will ship out on the 27th, so just in time for all the fun shoppingness of Black Friday. And yeah, I definitely am going to be picking up, probably going to be picking it up on Cyber Monday, just because I'll be so busy with working the Black Friday crowd at my store. I probably will just be like, and just spend more money than I realize if I actually just go out and buy it all now. We've got some Eldar Corsair jet bike upgrade kits for enough for 3 dudes. Jet bikes, I haven't used them, so I can't say if I would really pick these up. The only thing that's neat is I like how the fins are shaped out to look like the jetpacks. The jetpacks from the Corsair kit, so I kind of like that look. And that gun that is on it actually looks really interesting. It's called, 3 erasers, and 3 dissonance cannons. Curious to see what those do, because that's an interesting name for a cannon, especially when the Eldar are involved. And then we got 2 Skatarch or Skatach Wraith Knights, one with Inferno Lances and one with Death Shroud Cannons. Wraith Knights, so awesome. They're only like $30 more than a regular Wraith Knight kit, so that's not too terrible considering what you get with it. And it looks like it's got new cannons, some new fins on its back, these plates that kind of give it like a Warp Spider jump pack look, and a new head option looking at it compared to the Wraith Knight that I have sitting on my table right now. Yeah, it's a different head. Of course, obviously, different weapon configuration, which looks like it uses parts of the Wraith Knight kit to make, and then it's like it uses the weird fancy ribbon ring thing on the top, and the rest of the gun is pure new. And from the description, it looks like these Inferno cannons are basically super fusion guns, which is awesome. A Wraith Knight that can rip apart light vehicles and isn't a D weapon. I'll have to look at its rules to see if I think it's worth taking over just standard Wraith cannons, but I'm probably going to at least pick up one of each of these at one point just to have different variants of the model, because I like variety and different cool looks, and I'm not that good at sculpting new looks myself. So this is cool, makes me get something new and unique without me having to actually do anything to achieve that effect. Then we got the one, it looks like the Death Shroud one. The Death Shroud cannon is the standard configuration for these guys. I'm going to assume it's going to have the same effect as the Knights. The Knights. I forget its name. It's horrible. This is because I never use the tank. Hold on one second. Let me just pull up it on the GW site. And we've got Eldar. And we've got heavy supports. And I'm going to kick myself the Night Spinner. It looks like it just has like a Walker mobile version of the Night Spinner's weapons, so it's going to be curious to see how that is. Like I said, I will be picking up the book soon, so soon I'll have an answer to all my questions. But looking good. It's nice to see a Xenos race get something from Forge World instead of just, the regular Horus Heresy stuff that we've been seeing. But I think there have been some armies that needed some loving a little bit more than the Eldar. Like, a revised version of Imperial Armor 11, I think, was a nice thing to have, but I think there's some other races that could have used some attention for, like, some new models over the Eldar itself. But what can you say? The Eldar are pretty popular in terms of sales, so they're gonna focus on what makes them money. And we've got the Leviathan Dreadnought. Thing looks beastly, and I'm digging its rules. If you haven't checked it out yet, it's available on Forge World's website. It's pretty nasty. Points, it's pretty point-heavy, but stats are pretty solid, its special rules are pretty cool, and its loadout is pretty awesome. And it's a relic weapon, it looks like, when it is, when it's in 40k for regular Space Marines. Looks pretty awesome, I have to say. So, I don't know if I'll ever pick one up, because I'm not really a Dreadnought kind of guy, but definitely looks really cool. It looks like a really fun model to paint, like a lot of the Forge World walkers are. And then that is pretty much all I can think about to really ramble about. That's most of... Oh, I actually forgot the one big important thing that I should know about, because I was jumping for joy when it happened. Recently, EW released that Specialist Games is coming back, and words fail to describe how awesome I think that is. I was so upset when Battlefleet Gothic went away, mainly because I was not done collecting Battlefleet Gothic yet. And from the rumors that we're hearing, that it's, the old ships are coming back, new ships are coming in, revamped models. I don't even care if the rules are good or bad, because I have archived every PDF of the old game there, so I'll just buy the ships and use them with the old rules if need be. But I'm just so happy that the ships are back. This will help us with getting Dornport up and running, because then I don't have to try and worry about, what color scheme should I use, because that'll limit everything, and so that'll hopefully move that stuff along a little bit. I'm interested to check out Epic or Titanicus, or however they wish to bring it in, because I kind of like that idea of playing an epic scale game without needing like 9 foot long tables and 3 days of free time in order to finish one game. Blood Bowl I never really had any interest in, but I know a bunch of my friends are interested into it, so I'll pick it up. I'll at least play the game with them when that finally comes back. Necromunda, it sounds interesting, but again, that'll be one of those things where I'm going to have to borrow minis from somebody. I'm not going to take a full dive into that game just yet. If there's any games that I will take a full dive into right off the bat, it's obviously going to be Battlefleet Gothic, and it's most likely going to be Epic Armageddon. Those two would be the only real games I would full dive in without any regard for if the rules are good, bad, or in between. Let's see. I do like the Betrayal at Calf box sets, so if they are going to be in charge of making new box sets similar to that one, I look forward to seeing what they have in store, because I thought that was a really cool kit, especially for what it's priced at. I feel that it was a really good set, and if that is an example of what we can see from this new studio, I cannot wait to see what else they have in store for us. And so that is all that I have to really say for today, and it's going to be a really short one because, again, it's just me, don't have the wild card to work off of, and we'll hopefully have his up, if not at the same time as this one, a little bit later than this guy here, or before this one, who knows. So I do apologize again that this whole situation happened. I hope you enjoyed this moment. Thank you for tuning in today. If you haven't yet, subscribe to us. That way you see these videos when they come out. Like this video. That way more people can see it and get circulated. Check out our Facebook page for more news and interesting things that we hear about in the gaming world. And also check out our website at fearlessgames.com for more blogs, reviews, and what have yous. And that is all. So thank you all for tuning in again. And until next time, Fearless Gamers, this is Matt the Vet saying, take care.